All right, we have a quorum, but neither the chair or the vice chair is going to be here, so someone has to take over the chair duties.
Okay, I guess that calls for a nomination. Any volunteers?
I nominate Tag.
Tag, you seem the most eager.
I
Second.
had to open my mouth. No, Wayne's actually the best candidate to be the chair.
Hey, I seconded a motion. Let's move on.
Oh, you second, I didn't hear you. All right, I'll give it a shot, but please correct me if I'm in error as a newbie. We'll bring up the agenda. We need to read the preamble. Any volunteers for that?
Pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Act of 2023, this meeting will be conducted via remote means, I think, tonight, right?
Yep.
In accordance with applicable laws, members of the public who wish to watch the meeting may do so by using the Zoom login or information provided. Viewers also can visit https://thelocalscene.media/Duxbury for information about Duxbury programming, including streaming and watching replays. Duxbury YouTube.
Okay, thank you, Wayne.
You're welcome.
So I guess the meeting's called to order. Any items for open forum?
Nope.
Okay,
Nothing here, Tag.
great. Do we want to dive right into Nashville Road or do minutes?
I
Let's
move
do-
that the minutes be approved as drafted.
Second.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Wayne. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
I, Wayne.
Matthew Ray, aye.
Jen Turcott, aye.
Pat Carpenter, aye. Okay, motion passes. Minutes approved. Thank you. All right, item 3, Nash Road subdivision to approve the as-built plan and release remaining escrow and performance bond funds. Do we have a presenter? Anyone leading this? All right, so we have a letter of transmission and we have an as-built review and we have an as-built plan. There are several items noted on the review. Has everyone on the planning board read the review?
I have.
All
Yes.
right.
Yep, I saw it. Yep.
Are
I
we-
also sent an email around 5:30. The reviewer sent around another letter reviewing the revised as-built.
Another letter. Yeah.
Yeah, all of those should be in the OneDrive folder, but they basically said that all of their comments have been addressed by the revised as-built plan.
Okay. All right, so we have an as-built plan that has satisfied the concerns of the reviewer. Do any planning board members have any particular concerns about approving the as-built plans and releasing the escrow?
I don't, Tag. I read the updated letter that Emily circulated late this afternoon. It sounds, based off Merrill's review, that all their concerns with the as-built have been addressed.
Same.
I'm in the same place.
All right. Then it doesn't seem like we have much to discuss.
So
So-
Emily, go ahead, Wayne.
I was going to ask Emily, so what are they looking for? Do they want us to release it at this hearing or they
Yeah,
wanted us?
so to close out the project, you have to vote to approve the as-built plan and vote to release the remaining funds back to the applicant.
Then we have to sign it, right?
Yeah, you can do that at the next meeting, but the release of the funds, you would just vote tonight, and then I would submit the forms to the treasurers tomorrow.
Okay.
All right, is our convention to combine those into a single vote or do we vote these separately?
I've heard them as a single vote before.
Make a motion to approve the as-built plan for the Nash Road subdivision and release the remaining escrow and performance bond funds.
Second.
Okay, Jennifer, thank you, Wayne. Any discussion about accepting the plans and releasing the escrow?
None from me, Tag.
No, okay. Great, then we'll call for the vote. Start with you, Matt. You're on my top left.
All right. Matthew Ray, aye.
Pat Carpenter, aye. Jen?
Jen Turcott, aye.
Wayne Dennison, I.
Okay. Thank you. The applicant is here. Looks like you're good to go.
Great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. Next item on the agenda is to discuss Monday's special town meeting. This is not a vote. It doesn't require any particular action by the board. Open general discussion. So since I'm the representative on the working group, I'll just open the floor to questions. Anybody have any questions?
You ready?
I get more ready every day. I
Good.
suspect I will continue to get ready right through the end of the year and going up to March.
So Jen, you weren't at our last meeting, but I think Scott had mentioned as the clerk of the board, you would be the one that reads the town meeting warrant on behalf of the planning board, and then tag, and his working group would then open your presentation. At least that was my understanding.
Can't wait. Curious, so we have two articles, right? We have the MBTA communities, and we have Cooper Hill Road street acceptance.
Yes, that's right. Yep.
Those are two separate articles, right? So first it's Article 1, MBTA communities, and then just procedurally, this is a procedural question. Town meeting votes on Article 1, and then we move to Article 2, and then planning is finished with
Yes.
the need. Okay, just wanted to double check. I wasn't sure if both got read at the same time, but that makes sense to me.
Yeah, they're really two separate things. I think we usually bundle the CPC just because it's one heading, but
A lot of chatter, a lot of online chatter about special town meeting Monday.
oh yes. I'm dying to hear from you, Wayne, on the topic. I know you've been reticent to speak because you're so involved with Milton. Would you have anything you'd like to share with the planning board at this point?
I actually thought that Mike McGee's suggestion to IP this was a very good one. I thought it was a very, very good idea, largely because it puts us in a position, obviously it puts us in a position that is not compliant, and there are concerns about that. But given the uncertainties around the enforcement of the law and whether there are enforcement mechanisms other than losing the grants that are referenced, I thought it was a pretty good idea. I was surprised that the select board didn't adopt it, but it looked like the select board came back 2 to 1 on this issue, and I think it'll be an interesting town meeting. That said, I'm in the middle of a trial, and I don't think I'll be there.
That's a shame. All right. Yeah, at the motions meeting on Tuesday, I think it was Tuesday, a little bit of the discussion about IP, and the moderator stated when asked if a motion to postpone would be accepted immediately, he said no, that it's a significant issue and it requires discussion, and so there will be a robust debate until the moderator is satisfied that at least it's been fully examined before he'll entertain an IP motion.
Well, I suspect somebody might make one.
Oh, I'm certain they will. Yep. And as you know, as a, I guess, dyed in the wool town meeting voter, if the sense of the room is that we're going to have to do this again, then we're not going to want to spend any time on it now.
Yeah.
But the public needs more information. I mean, clearly from the letters in the Clipper, there's still a gap between the the many complex and nuanced issues involved and public knowledge. So
yeah, I think it, and that's not a function of anything to do with the MBTA working group. I thought the MBTA working group did remarkable work in the time in which they were able to do this. People worked super hard. They worked really thoughtfully, and I think any suggestion to the contrary is just dead wrong. But there is real misunderstanding that persists, and you know, I'm very interested to hear what Jim Lambert has to say. Jim is adamant about certain language of the zoning bylaw, no matter what the
Yeah.
what the topic is.
He certainly is. I was thinking of giving him a call, actually.
Yeah.
He's on it.
So it ought to be interesting.
Yeah, it's a good one. If, you know, knowing as well as you do, Wayne, sort of the whole set of issues around this, what do you think is probably the most important or vital thing for town meeting to understand about this? If you had to pick and choose amongst the many, could you pick out one?
I think that there's I don't know. I think the most important thing to understand is probably a finance committee issue. And it's what would it cost us to say no or to IP it? Because
Hmm.
that's the I think the critical analysis that people need to make. Because there's a distinct possibility, irrespective of the SJC appeal, that the rules will be upheld and that the Attorney General can enforce those rules, and we will be in non-compliance. And if we are in non-compliance, in all likelihood, that means we're going to lose certain grants. And my sense is that the Finance Committee will have their arms around that question, and I think the most important presentation might be that.
I was wondering if you know of a way for me to try and gather information about the AG's activities, and in particular whether they are actively preparing to bring suit as of January 1, or if there is going to be some dwell time in the first quarter before.
I don't know that definitively, but quite frankly, I doubt they're going to do anything until the SJC ends.
Oh, well, certainly, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's a big question mark.
You know, the SJC is considering whether the AG even has the right to enforce it. If I were the AG, I'd probably wait to see how that came out.
Yep. Indeed. Well, in terms of my role as the go-between with the working group and the planning board here, is there anything that you guys would like me to emphasize or bring forward or communicate to that working group? There is going to be a meeting scheduled, and if a vote is taken, I'd like to ensure that I can at least surface any concerns you have.
No, I mean, from my perspective, I commend the group to echo what what Wayne said. I mean, you guys have done tremendous work in a short period of time, and you know, you've done well in the research, and I think the presentation is put together well, and hopefully that will answer some people's questions. And ultimately, it's up to the townsfolk to make their decision, whether it's a motion to, you know, IP motion, or if it's a motion up or down.
If it gets voted down, is there still risk that the state we won't be allowed grant money?
If it gets voted down, I think that risk is close to 100%. With respect to the grants that are enumerated in the statute.
So not only do we have to put forth a bylaw, but also that bylaw needs to be accepted.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. The town's in a bit of a unique position because we have an early town meeting in the spring, right? So depending on how the SJC shakes out and what the temperature is, you know, assuming it working on the assumption that it gets voted down on Monday, does it get retaken up again at regular town meeting? TBD. I mean, I don't think we know the answer.
Matt, you're absolutely right that we have an early town meeting and that it does provide us a little more working leverage on the issue.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting.
Yep, and as to whether, I mean, if it's voted down, the question would be if the town experiences consequences, does it change the thinking of either the select board or this board to bring it up again? Because the planning board would have to bring it up again if it's voted down. It's IP, then it's not a big deal. We just try again if we wish. So that'll be bandied back and forth, I imagine.
Yeah, I'll be candid with you. I think it should be IP'd. Just given the uncertainty at the state level as to the enforceability and the enforcement mechanism. And I don't like making at least semi-permanent changes to the zoning bylaw without given this level of uncertainty. That's my view on the thing, but those are my 2 cents.
Yeah, appreciate that. I'll share that. I don't know if you guys look at the Upzone update website that shows the status of the towns, but in the last month, there's been a defection rate, a consistent defection rate of towns either IPing or outright refusing to adopt this. So
Yeah, I think the people who were where it was gonna go down early, relatively easily, were early adopters.
yes, it's kind of built into the schedule. Yeah. Yep. So it seems in all likelihood that it would be IP'd after some reasonable discussion and brought back. I think, I mean, it is state law. Unless the state law has changed, the circumstances are no different.
Yeah,
So,
that's right.
all right. Anything else on that one?
No, I'm good, Ted.
I'm good.
We were repeating the vote on the street acceptance, so that's kind of no brainer. I guess that'll be it for town meeting. All right, so we can have a short meeting here about the schedule. Everybody take a look at the schedule. Any comments on that or need to revise?
I do have a comment on it. In some of the other boards in which I sat, we really do break for August because we have real difficulty getting a quorum. And quite frankly, the level of business that we were getting in August was pretty low. And I didn't know whether there was a overriding need to have 2 August dates. But that was the only thing that jumped out at me at the schedule. Emily, are there things that we have to act on quickly, such that if something came up in, the end of July, that we couldn't reach it by September?
Not that I can think of. I'm fine with reducing it to 1 August date if that works for everyone,
Works for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
or
That's
getting rid
fine.
of them altogether.
You want to split the difference and go to the 18th? Just to average it out?
That's probably a good idea.
Good.
Okay.
No other comments from me, Ted.
Okay, great. Thanks, Matt.
All right.
Great. Well, that's an easy meeting.
Well, it was very well run.
Oh, thanks. Not much on it. Motion to adjourn.
I'll move.
Second.
All right. Thanks, Jen, Matt. Without any further ado or discussion, unless anybody has any final thoughts, we can wrap it up.
Aye.